All right, here we go. Welcome back. Today, I'm looking forward to this. Actually, we're going to be talking about Edward Deming, or about his processes. And this is around total quality management. And where we're going with this is, how do you build quality into your business? How do you eliminate mistakes? How does the whole team come together so that your processes add value to your clients, so value added? Now, Deming, if you're not aware of Deming, now, first time I came across Deming was a stats paper, and it was also on a paper post-grad, and we were doing it around management, project management. Deming, Edward Deming. So Edward Deming is this stats guy that comes out of America, and it's post-World War II, and he's put into Japan to try and rebuild the economy and the businesses that are over there. So I guess that's one of the downsides when you win a war and you take over the other side, you actually need to, you've destroyed it, and you need to build it back up. Now, when I was a kid, the stuff coming out of Japan was amazing. You know, the cars were cool. They were better than the other cars, didn't break down. Electronics, all the TVs, all the radios, big stereo things that we carried around, and Walkmans, and everything really came from Japan. They were producing it. Nobody else in the world had a look in as far as they went. Now, they went from a nation that was post-war to Deming coming in, having a look at their processes and improving them as they go. So if you know people that know Deming or have studied Deming, they're probably fans at Deming, and we certainly were when we were doing a postgrad diploma on business management. Now, I'm going to run you through. He had some principles, and they were called, I think, Deming's 14 management principles. I'm going to just give you a few of them, and we're going to have a look at how they work in. And I'm thinking about them in my business now. As I develop my sales business within my sales team, we're looking at each process. So the first one is, he looks at the process, not the person. Now, when there's a mistake, I think we do it the other way around. We get annoyed at the person as opposed to stopping and looking at the process. I've seen this, and I've seen this with our VAs. So we're now using the VAs. I've got a campaign manager, thanks Nick, and I've got the VA sitting in behind. The great thing about the VA is they do exactly what we ask them to do. So it actually means that our process is getting better, because we now know what we want and we know how to explain that to somebody, and they do it. When they come back with a mistake, it's that we explained it wrong, or we told them to do the wrong thing. So now that is tidying it up as we go. If we hadn't dropped VAs into the system, and there's other benefits also, but if we hadn't dropped VAs into the system, we'd have a person in New Zealand repeating the same mistake, and we'd just get frustrated with the person. We'd wonder about their intelligence. We'd wonder about their commitment. That would be where you would go with it, and your frustrations. And in the end, you would put up with it and say, well, that's as good as it gets. But now we're looking at the process. Now, Deming does a great exercise on that. And what he does, and you can do it with a number of different ways, but the way I liked it when I saw it in university and also on a video of Deming was they had a fish tank. And in the fish tank, they had ping pong balls. So you got all these white ping pong balls in there. And then you had some workers, and they had little fish nets to scoop the ping pong balls out. But what Deming does is he colors some of the ping pong balls, so say they're blue, and drops them in and mixes the whole thing up. Now, as the person comes in and scoops them out, and he tells the worker, this is an example obviously, all I want is white ping pong balls, no blues please, those are mistakes, don't make mistakes, I'm paying you to do it the right way. So the person gets in there and scoops out, and if they scoop out all whites, he goes, you're fantastic, you're a great worker, thank you so much. If they then go through and the scoop and a blue comes out, he goes, oh look, I think I told you no blues please, can you just be more careful at work? And you can see it's just a random process. So they scoop again, they might get a white. Oh, I see, you're really good. They might get a blue. Hey, come on, you really need to pay attention. They might get another blue. Hey, you're really not working the way you should be. So you see where this goes? It is the fault in the system that's inherent, that's a trap that gets the person every single time. I think Deming was one of the best at describing that and making that obvious to everybody. So now think about the suppliers you have and the people in your team and the functions they do and the frustrations you have with them. Is it process-based? Now, sometimes it may be person-based, but is it process-based? Is it simply that there is a fault that randomly will come up and they just don't know about it and they keep making that mistake and it frustrates you? Do you need to go back and do something differently? Now, if I bring this into real estate, CMAs, so the real estate guys do a market appraisal. I've spoken about what the value of that, I think, and I will do more on that when I'm out of real estate. I'll tell you exactly what I think about that. But on the CMA, how do you look at the quality of what you're doing and how do you add value? Is it a printed copy? Do you do it just digitally? Is it printed and left behind? Is that of more value to my client as I go through? Is it full-blown, pictures everywhere and lots of descriptions? Is it cut down and straight out of one of the data systems that all the agents use where it's fairly well pre-populated? At what level is there value in it, and at what level does the value disappear? You know, the tension between a lot of time on the CMA, less time, but it's still very, very effective. And up here on the full-blown ones, that might be at a price point or a certain criteria where you go to that. On the other ones, it might be a simpler format. It's still the same data, but a simpler format to get the job done. Now, if I challenge people on this also, I don't think the quality of your CMA gets you the listing. I think it's the quality of your presentation, your connection, your engagement with the client. The CMA is a legal requirement, and it is also just a prop, a tool that assists you. So you should be able to walk through with that. So if the quality of your CMA is getting you the job, then I think you've got your, maybe challenge yourself. Maybe you've got the focus in the wrong place. Maybe I should challenge myself on that. Maybe your CMAs you're champions at CMAs. Now, as I look through processes, each process we're looking at, we're going to apply Deming's principles because we're going to look for the quality sitting in it. I'll give you an example, solds. So we just do the sale, and then we should have a checklist sitting in there of automatically what happens. Signboard sticker goes up immediately, then you get up your big blowing signboard sticker with your faces on it. It might be that you request testimonials. I know we all request testimonials for ourselves, saying that the agent did a good job and the vendor was happy and with how they sort of rated you. But maybe do the testimonials also for your suppliers. Ask a testimonial for the people who did the staging. Ask a testimonial for the guys that did the photos and the videos. Have a look at that and see how that goes. So there we go. Give you another one just in the middle while I'm sort of still on the real estate. Then I'm going to go back more into Deming. And this is something I've seen happen. And I haven't seen it in the past. And I think the agents are doing a really good job on this. Now, when we have a private viewing during the week, so open homes are typically on the weekend and you might have a twilight one evening during the week. When we have private viewings during the week, so the buyer phones up and books and goes, oh, can I have a look at it? Go, yeah, look, we can open up, when's that one? Is that cool? They go, yes. Then what agents are doing now around that is packing in more value. So they now call it a pop-up open. So you can bring that one buyer in, but create a pop-up open. So now we're putting our signage out that morning saying today and the time, 1 to 1:30 viewing. Put the flag out. Then put it on the internet under your open home times and your viewing. Today, 1 to 1:30 or Wednesday, 1 to 1:30, pop-up open. And then Deb Star, well done, Deb. Excuse me, I saw this on your Facebook this morning coming out of the gym, and I thought it was really cool. Deb's taken that and made a tile and put it on Facebook also. So that Facebook community, her followers are watching it. They go, sweet, there's a viewing there today, and we can go along to that. And she's getting more traffic in for the vendor, so adding value. Now, let's loop back and jump back into Deming. So these are the 14 points on management. I'm not going to give you a 14. I just pulled out some that I think we should focus on, and I'm sharing that with you because I'm focusing it on myself. Now, one is create consistent purpose towards improvement. So that really is saying we're constantly determined to improve as we go, and that's the ethos in the team. Everybody goes, okay, how can I make that a little bit better? So it's not the lead agents, It's not the associate, it's not the campaign manager, it's not the VA. It is everybody thinking about that with what they see and what the activities are. Not only what they do, but what they see the rest of the team do. And I'll talk about that as I get further down. Now with us, it is streamlining the process. If we want to do a volume of listings, we only do things that add value, and the things that are fluff on the side we'll strip out. And we've done that with vendor reports, we've done that with CMAs, we've done that with just in the way we present to vendors and talk to vendors. We take the fluff out and we're direct and straight to the point, and everything hopefully adds value, and more so over time. Next one is, this is quite interesting. So really, Deming didn't do this for real estate agents. Stop depending on inspections, build in quality from start to finish. So if you're a lead agent or anybody in business, do you feel you need to check on everybody as you go? Do you feel, I'll let them do it and then I'm going to check it and then I'm going to see how I go? And then do you do, I might as well have done it myself? So if you've done that, you will stay in that loop. You've got to rise above that, and you've got to go back and improve the quality right from the start. So you're not relying on, I'll check it. You're saying, I'll build the quality in from start to finish. Like an automotive factory can't go, oh, damn, look, we got that car wrong, flip it around and run it through the factory again. They build in the quality from start to finish. We've got to build that into our real estate businesses. With your business outside of real estate, just build that in. If it is you checking, you are doing that because you haven't stopped to build in the quality at the beginning. Might take you a little bit longer, but over time, that's going to take care of itself. And then you've got a quality system. Next one, improve constantly. Makes sense. A lot of the TQM, Total Quality Management, looks at that. Improve consistently. And I'll give you a little, the Deming cycle that sits in there. Plan, do, check, act. Plan, do, check, act. And when I've got check in there, you can also change it out to be study. So you plan the activity. You plan the function, you plan the process, then you do it, and then you check it or study it. How well did that really go? Did that really work? And I know in my business, and my leadership team will know this, every time I change something over here, it has impact over here that I didn't think of. So I would do plan, do, study. And I go, damn, I didn't think that was going to happen. That looked like it was unrelated, but it is tied in somehow, and now I've created a problem over here. So I've got to adjust. Plan, do, check, or study, and once you've got that sorted, act. So that is improving constantly. We do that with our processes in the team. Plan what we want. That's easy. Stop and think. And then we do it. Run it. And run another one, and run another one, and then study it. What worked well? And it might be, plan is, how am I going to build rapport every single time I meet the client? The do is, we'll message them, hey, would you like a coffee? And then we'll remember that it's a latte and it's a hot chocolate extra hot. So whatever the order is. And then we'll do it, and then we will study what's the response. Does that help create rapport? Does it break down barriers? Does it create a greater working environment as a team between the client and ourselves? And if we've got that right, act. We do it every single time. Next one, I like this one. Allow workers, these are Deming's terms, allow workers to understand, and now you got two choices on this. Normally you're going to say the whole picture or the big picture. So in fact, I think you would probably say the big picture. Allow workers to understand the big picture. And you hear that in business. What's the big picture? Everybody should understand the big picture. Change that slightly and use the word the whole picture. So when if I go back to Army, when I'm in a team, I understand what everybody's function is in the team. I understand what this guy does, what this guy does, what this guy does, and they understand what I do. The whole team understands the whole picture, not the big picture, which is the mission. So now that detail in my team, Nicole is the campaign manager. I need her to understand more about the auction process. When we're selling the lead agents, we're in doing the auction process. Now, our associates will come in and do their part of the gig, prospecting and assisting with the campaigns and generating their own campaigns. But they need to understand the whole picture, and then they will get it. And it might be somebody sitting over here with fresh eyes that looks at our process and goes, I've seen it done a better way. Or why do you guys do it that way? Now, we're getting down to the last two. Next one, eliminate fear. This one is simply don't blame people, change the system. So if I know I make a mistake and the team's not going to rip into me, then I'm going to be looking for the system that was the fault. Remember, I go back to the ping pong balls, the white ones, the blue ones, and I pull those out. I'm going to go back to that and go, there was a fault in my system that tripped me up each time. So I couldn't get past that. So now we're not blaming the person, we're changing the system. And if I look in with my VAs, campaign manager, associates, my co-lead agent as I go through, what part of our systems do we need to change? So remember, and you'd go back to plan, act, plan, do, study, act. And the last one is train people, increase their skills. So we've touched on that. If I take Nick as campaign manager, she's never going to be out here selling houses. I want Nick to stay running that side of it. She's fantastic. She's magic. But if she can understand all of that, she'll see how this all ties in. So it is worth training people to increase their skills and look wider as they go. So there we go. That was an introduction to Deming. If you're outside of real estate, that all applies to you more so than us. If you're inside real estate, start thinking as a business person. Start looking at where you add value. Start thinking about the parts of your process that don't add value. They're just a nonsense, and strip those out, because that'll give you more time back. So there we go. We're over in Stones now. Check it out. How cool is that view? James did a good job setting us up, and it's a different cup of tea, but it's still an Earl Grey, so I'm happy. So there we go. Hope that was of value. Always feel free to message me. Always happy to interact and engage with people that are communicating. I love your feedback. Thank you. Ciao.